Well done on returning to Fresh Off the Ward podcast. This is episode 5. We're going to be talking about philosophy. I'm Ethan Thompson.
And I'm Thompson Ethan.
And we're going to start with the early days of philosophy. You know, we're back with the Greeks and that. Back in time. Now you've got facts, but I'm going to sort of debate with you in a very Socratic, in the Socratic method.
Yeah, we've sort of come about this two approaches. You told me philosophy, so I went and researched a lot of philosophers and stuff they did and that. And you've gone out and started practicing what they was preaching.
Yeah, I've gone out there venturing an social experiment on myself.
So first of all, Ethan, before you go on a tangent and I'll lose you for the next 20 minutes, what's made you interested in philosophers?
I think when I was growing up I used to think of them quite a lot. Trying to understand what life is, why I'm around, what the earth's about. And I guess the ones I've chosen have influenced a lot, even though they are pretty basic ones. I just thought it's something to be invested in,
Yeah.
Rather than, thinking of concepts rather than thinking of running out of time.
Yeah, I can understand that. So go on then, so what are these sort of, when little Ethan first learns about his philosophers and that, so who was it that sort of got your brain ticking, started getting you thinking, I could really, I could go along with something like that.
Like some Greek, I can't remember what he was called. It was a Greek writer, like a playwright. He made that one with it's about that where the son kills the dad and then shags the mum. What's it called?
The son kills. Oh, I know exactly what you're on about. Yeah. I don't know what it's called. Go on.
Oh bloody hell! I used to know what that was. But yeah, that made me really debate reality and what actions are worth. You know what I mean? For me, it's about what my actions will be worth. What effect they have. So I do think about the effect I try to have, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to think about, like what effect can I have with my life on Earth. So then I just started researching a bunch of stuff back then though, that time ago that. It's only resurfaced because I've got nothing to think about.
Well, what about uni course?
Yeah, I do think about that. It's a film course, so there's a lot about watching a film and then being sceptical of it. And breaking it down, so that's a way in which philosophy could come in, because being sceptical and cynical is a vital part of philosophy when it was first brought about.
Right, so to make this podcast episode a bit easier on both of us and probably the listeners.
Yeah, we've got some facts.
Yeah.
From time.
You can go for your bits when you want to talk about your philosophers, I reckon, yeah? You can give them your point. We'll start with your point of views on their actual theories, their understandings, the actual stuff they preached and that.
Yeah.
And then I'll help by informing people who these people actually are. And
in a crack way, if I do say something, you could probably fill me up with some of these facts to help me get along.
Exactly, my man. So go on then. Go on. We'll go. First, go. What are you going to do? You're going to go per philosophy or?
I think we'll go from a time. So even though we got the Socratic method and Socrates, he was very critical of what life is, what you can actually know, what is intelligence and intellect. It just makes you think about other things that, other than God, if you get what I mean. Because a lot of societies are based all the functioning and belief system on gods. And I feel like Socrates got people thinking and believing about things in reality, if you get what I mean.
So did you know Socrates didn't actually write any of his words down or anything?
One of his students, isn't it, Plato?
Plato was the main person who sort of translated it all. But Socrates, he died for what he used to preach.
Yeah,
he got sentenced to death for basically corrupting the youth of Athens.
Yeah, he was telling people, I don't believe in these gods and that, and he was getting people to question the whole slavery system, really, Because they used to have that back then in Greece, didn't it? In the Greek times, they had slaves and that, so.
But obviously, his people who came after him and that and followed his teachings, such as Plato and Aristotle, they carried on his philosophies.
Well, they are still prevalent till today.
That is very true.
We are talking about them a time ago, these.
So go on, anything else about Socrates?
Well, even though Socrates was a very worship man, there's this other guy, it's called Diogenes, and he was sort of the opposite. He was very rebellious from what I've read.
Oh yeah, so is that the guy in the barrel?
Yeah, you were more some sort of sarcastic satire person. I felt from just reading about him, some videos about him, feels very satire. Satire is a bit of parody of reality.
Yeah.
And politics and philosophy, because he's Plato said, I think, a man is a bird without wings. So he cut off the wings of a chicken, and he was like, behold, a man. So he was just very contradicting, you know.
He was known as Diogenes the Cynic.
Yeah, well, he got enslaved to slavery, innit? And he just blagged that he blagged that he was a leader of people to this guy. He didn't know him. And he just made him a tutor for him. So yeah, Socrates, Greek times. I wanted to sort of show the other times, like recent times. Saying times a lot today because obviously they are back in time. But Nietzsche and René Descartes. Did you find out about them or?
I've got Friedrich Nietzsche.
Yeah, Nietzsche, yeah.
Yeah, a German philosopher.
Yeah, well, apparently he lived like a very isolated life, you know, he didn't really like people or whatever. But he saw religion as this construct to keep people controllable.
Yeah.
By vindicating like sex and fucking drugs and gambling and murder and stuff, it keeps people, docile. And he believed this was causing people to not be able to achieve what they wanted.
Yeah, so in his like famous works like Beyond Good and Evil and the Genealogy of Morals, Nietzsche argued that traditional morality was a form of oppression that stifled individual creativity and oppression. So he basically believed that individuals should create their own values and live according to their own will, rather than conforming to the values of society. It's sort of the principle of sort of, nowadays, if I came over to Ethan and took your sandwich off you, per our society you would go to the police report theft, I would get arrested. If I did that to you in caveman times and came over and took your bit of meat, you'd turn around and you would just batter me back for the meat, you'd take me back off me.
Well, he said that a lot of people were basing their lives on scripture, you know, Bibles, and he wanted people to base what they see off culture and art.
Yeah.
Music, literature. He wanted people to experience the actualities of life rather than this fabrication up in the sky.
Well, yeah, and because of that, it's very much that's what mainly got all his hate against him.
Yeah. Well,
have you noticed a lot of these philosophers speak out against religion and God, and they're punished mainly for that?
Yeah, I do understand that, but with Nietzsche's time, that was during the industrial sort of revolution, you know, when everyone was
the 19th century.
Everything was becoming mechanical. It was just after the Renaissance, and that was sort of a dispelling of religion. So he was just trying to, off of Descartes, I think, therefore I am. I think Nietzsche has like looked at the world and found what he values, rather than be told what he values.
Yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying.
You get me with that.
I get you.
But yeah, Descartes was a bit like, people were saying nihilism about these guys, like these guys don't care, but he was like, if you don't care about not caring, that's some sort of care, you know. It would fucking collapse that statement, you know. But fucking, from Plato, this cynical nature, do you apply that into your life?
Well, that's it, because a lot of scientists, writers, and like general like big brain people,
it's
like Einstein,
absolute thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all philosophers. But it's all about, to me, it seems all about they're just expanding the creativity.
Yeah, people want to know more about what's around them. But I feel like Nietzsche was saying, find what you care about in a thing. So maybe like your perception of a rose bush might be vastly different to someone else's perception of it. But regardless of the perceptions, it's still the same thing.
True.
I feel that's like what Diogenes was on, like just some basic, simple logic.
Yeah, it's like how Socrates asked everyone why about everything, to the point he was hated for it.
Once, I just thought, and then I related it to Socrates. But I was like, what if I just said why to everything? Like, why do I get a cup of coffee? Like, why is coffee? Just go on forever.
So go on then.
That's Socrates. So he would just gone on.
You get a cup of coffee because you're thirsty.
Yeah.
Why do you get a cup of coffee because you're thirsty? Because your body tells you need nutrients.
Yeah.
Why did you get coffee? Because that's what you enjoy drinking.
Yeah.
And your brain, you wanted to get at that time. I can understand the concept of like personal, emotional stuff.
I feel like
why are you angry?
The extent of asking why is eventually you won't be able to answer a question, and it might be a question that you need to know the answer for.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but some things are solid facts. If I said to you, that brick is blue, and you said why, maybe I can't answer that question because of my intelligence and what I know, but a person who knows everything about wood or brick or colours, they could tell you why the rocks are grey or why we can see. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But if, for example, you got angry or you were sad and I went, why are you angry, Ethan? You went, because I'm sick of it raining. I'm like, yeah, but why is that making you angry?
Yeah, go on forever, innit?
You could go on forever.
That's probably how the Socratic method probably works.
Exactly. So it's personal opinion.
I was researching it and I was like, I understand this and I go through it all the time with different people. Do you not feel like that? Like you evaluate your life predicament. So I was watching a synopsis of Pulp Fiction. I've seen it 50 times or something. But you know the opening scene with Jules and Vincent going upstairs. He said that he convinces Jules through the Socratic method that massaging a woman's feet is something different than just massaging a woman's feet. He said it's like interpersonal. I don't want to go out on about feet. I'm not Tarantino. But he said it's like a specific, isolated meaning thing.
I guess.
It's like isolated incidents. While they are reoccurring during that select time, they are quite individual to a means.
Right.
Like people see shooting stars, you know.
Yeah.
But you could be in a different place, different time. You still experience the same thing. It's how you perceive it.
But that's still an absolute fact. That
I understand that. It's
debris that is flying.
It's about
over
like what you're gonna make of facts. You know?
Well, no, because I believe we do have absolute facts.
Yeah.
If you started the world again,
Yeah.
and got fast forwarded to this point,
Yeah.
scientific fact would still be scientific facts.
Yeah, I
gravity
understand
would still
that.
be gravity, but we wouldn't have, say, Christianity or Islam or Buddhism. We'd have it might be made up languages. There might be no religion at all.
Yeah. There are absolutes. I understand you with that, but like your interpretation of it.
Yeah, but how can you differently
Like,
interpret it?
Like an absolute is a rainbow. A rainbow's going to happen, yeah. What do I think of that rainbow? Disregarding its actual scientific purpose. What do I think of it? Like a lot of people have got a flag for it now, the rainbow.
Right.
So it's like what do different people mean for different things?
So what's it? So association.
So if I see a pirate flag, yeah. Most people are like, no, get out of the way, jump in the water.
Yeah.
I see it and think, I'm going to become a pirate, mate, today.
True. No,
Is that what I mean?
I can very much see that, and I can see the curiosity of people doing stuff like that.
You understand what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No.
even though it's like murder, yeah, is not a good thing. Like different cultures around the world, it's still an absolute. Killing someone is, like an actual thing you can do. It's a fact if you do it.
Yeah.
But it's like whether it's allowed in certain countries, like in some places you can chop off someone's arms for stealing it.
Oh yeah.
So like it's a similar thing. It's like an act, but it's like the justification of the act. I feel like some of these philosophers are trying to like justify things that have happened in the past and a way of overcoming them in the future.
Right. So give us an example.
Oh, I don't know.
Because you've got philosophers like, I cannot pronounce his last name, Jean-Paul Sartre, but he believes humans are condemned to be free, meaning that they must take responsibility for their own choices and actions.
Yeah.
So in terms of society, does that mean, so like I said, you've got to take ownership for your actions? I know that if I kill someone, I'm going to be punished. People are going to come to my house and imprison me and punish me. So does that mean, even though the person I might have killed might have harmed me in the most cruelest way possible?
Yeah. I don't know, there's grey areas within that. Because I'm playing Walking Dead, Telltale.
Yeah.
And I've made some fucking horrific decisions. But it's like I had a justification for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to justify it, but I mean, maybe some of these decisions I shouldn't have done, I'm glad I've played this game, it's given me some morality basis, man.
But then again though, Ethan, you've got a philosopher called David Hume who's argued that you can never truly know anything for certain, since all of our knowledge is based on our subjective perceptions and experiences. For example, how the Greeks thought a guy in a chariot pulled the sun across the sky.
Right.
And simple things like flat earthing. People thought we had a flat earth because that's just what at the time they knew. So then that was a solid fact.
So you're saying people are susceptible to corruption of the mind?
No, more of a case of the here and now. If I said to you, Ethan, we just quickly
present day.
We just quickly take this remote and put it in your teleporter and send it home. You'd be like, no, it's impossible, John.
Yeah.
But 200, 300 years in the future,
Maybe.
that could be the norm.
Yeah.
If I said to someone, so if I said to Henry VIII, I'm just gonna use this small device to ring my friend across the world, he would go, no, that's impossible.
That's witchcraft.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, that's what I mean. Even just there with witchcraft, people are gullible. Because why would you think that you got to kill a woman on the basis that she's magic?
Alright.
No, I just mean in terms of like with Britain, we're living in Britain still.
So what have you got any philosophies then? Like, what do you have a philosophy to do with humans? To do with people?
No, just aliens, man. It's just aliens, man.
So what do you mean like aliens?
Just joking. Philosophy. I think it was back in there. I made a declaration of principles that were based on joy, laughter, and longevity.
Yeah.
Levity. A bunch of words I just can't be arsed saying all at once, but it was just based on not doing harm and just trying to perform entertainment, you know, enjoy life is what I wanted.
Yeah.
And it's like, still possible to enjoy life, but in terms,
you should enjoy
in terms
life,
of these
not
philosophers, like a lot of them think that these things, because the soul, like the amount of impact you have, we've talked about it before, like, you know, what your residue will affect. Fucking give it a second, man. I fucking got caught in a tanglement of words then. Fucking hell, that was a speech there, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you do die in it. But it's about the amount of worth you've amounted for yourself when you do go.
Sort of like your legacy.
Yeah.
Like what mark you've left.
Like some people would be like, oh, like a priest might be like, oh, I've done all my life been in a church. Just all my life, like, you'd be like, what's it amounted to? Like, praising this guy in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
When maybe, say, someone else, like, what was that astronaut that died over here, you know, the one that actually went to the moon, Buzz Aldrin, he died over here, innit? A few years ago.
He could have done. He might have done.
That guy might have been like, oh, I was the first one to go out of space, my life was sick, man.
No, he was the first man on the moon. He was the first man in space.
No, obviously it was like Russian people and dogs and
and
monkeys. Monkey up there in space.
No, I know what you mean, but yeah, like people who've created cures that have saved thousands of people and that they've left something behind that like, people remember them for.
Very mark, but I think the wholeality of that is in a universal sense. Like, it doesn't really amount to much in comparison. So maybe like some alien planet, then they come like 10 billion years in future. I don't think they're going to find much worth from what we've left behind, you know. But it'd be nice if we did, you know, having some sort of worth.
Yeah. So would you say meaning then?
Meaning, yeah. Give life meaning, like, you know, like, what does my life mean? Like, what does your life mean to you?
Well, that's exactly it, bro. Some people, that's why I think some people follow religion, and follow like sports and just, you know, I'm not saying like a cult, but, you know, a group activity.
Yeah.
A group to follow, a singular goal to follow. So some people live their life all about football, and then it comes to the funeral and they're buried in like the favourite football team kit. Or, you know, people are religious, they get a religious burial.
I get it. Yeah, even in terms of religion, like,
I think
if you still believe in that, and then when you do go deceased, like, maybe it would have meant something, like your loyalty to God.
But you see, that's where I think these philosophers from times when religion was the more prominent thing in society, that's where they've been sort of marginalised and they've been punished because they're the ones who've turned around and gone, well, no, it shouldn't be realistically a sin for me wanting to go and get drunk.
Yeah.
Or it shouldn't be a sin for me wanting to eat a certain type of food, or you know, just stuff like that.
Well, I was thinking a lot about the morality basis of not having gods or a god or a heaven or a hell. Just the reality of, like, if there isn't any of them things, like, what would you base your morality on? I'd base it on suffering which is mad because that's what religions are in. But I don't want to cause suffering for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand from not wanting it myself, I don't want to inflict it onto others.
Yeah, no, I understand.
If you get what I mean. No.
So, what would you say is 21st century philosophy then?
Oh, I don't know. I kept out of it because nowadays everyone's on the internet. Nowadays there's going to be about like maybe million billion philosophies by now. Mate.
See, no, that's I was going to point.
That's what makes our time so individual because we're all aspiring to have our own mindsets. I mean, there is still a bit of traditionality where people are clicking with fads like roadmen. Where did they come from, mate? They only came. It was like about.
What do you mean? Where did they come?
Where did they come from?
That's just a cultural thing.
Yeah, I know, but it was like about 8 years ago. They
Yeah.
just spawned out of nowhere.
True, but roadmen not just reinvented chavs.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's just mad because
Plus, I think, bro, there are people, the trendsetters. You got
yeah.
fashion
Like
designers.
indie used to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, indie fashion. I told someone, mate, you're trying to be individualistic, yeah, by following a pure trend. Following pure trend.
Yeah, see, that's the.
Like, you know, I'm indie. I listen to Oasis. I like Oasis, but I never listen to them.
I've
They're
seen
a pub song, innit? You know,
yeah.
throwing a pub.
Well, I've seen some modern, I've been reading about some modern philosophies and that, proper philosophers and that.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, the funniest ones I've come across in that is people who go on about how the internet is destroying us and the philosophy in that.
I've been feeling
but
about that.
Ethan Jumpman, most of the weird, funny thing about that is,
Yeah.
I found these people on their internet, on their YouTube pages, on their blogs, so they're using,
Internet.
They're hypocrites.
Yeah,
bro.
I saw a bloody. There was a debate going on, with someone about. She was going on about sweatshops. You get all the money, all these people don't get any money. The guy literally turned around and was like, "Where'd you get your hat from?" Like, "Where'd you get your hat and shoes from?" She said, "I don't know, like the superstores they have in it, malls. I got it from the mall." It's like, bet you that hat's come from a sweatshop. It's just hypocritical thinking and behaviour.
Yeah.
Like, if you really didn't want to be inflicting any pain on someone making your shoes, go make your own shoes. It's not even possible, mate, because people can make shoes. So, like the Amish,
Yeah.
like, they live in a community.
Yeah. A communal community.
Community. Where everyone's like on a commune.
Yeah.
Someone will be farming, someone will probably making the clothes. It's still possible, like.
So would you consider their life a good philosophy then? About helping each other out?
The Amish, I think it's good. Amish, but I don't think it's secularly for them. Like, probably the Native Americans before we all came across. Probably really nice to each other, You know what I really would have liked? Like, all that history about the Native Americans that probably is just not there anymore. So like back before everyone invaded, like the English came across and all the Americans and that. They've been on that continent for time.
Yeah, of course.
So like, what did they get up to for years and years and years and years? That's what should be taught in English schools.
Well, no, it's probably,
Native American ancient history.
I imagine it's taught in American schools the same way we get taught about the Tudors and the kings and queens.
Yeah. Mm.
But yeah, so there are some positives to philosophy. Like it does bring people together. It can give everyone a unified goal. So literally, sometimes how do I explain? Criminals, people like that.
Yeah.
They go to therapy. They change up their philosophy to live a different life.
Yeah, like I cannot think.
But then again, though, Ethan, is there a right and a wrong between a philosophy of a man who won't kill a creature? He doesn't. He believes he shouldn't. He won't kill creatures, or a person who kills all their meals and stuff. Them two have two
unless
completely
that
different
vegan
philosophy.
is going fucking picking berries in the forest and getting all of its bloody
No,
plants and stuff from like a farm where all they do is just kill all the time to make sure they can still harvest, not have a bad harvest. Like,
No, that's what I'm saying, though, Ethan. Is either one of them wrong? Them two have completely different philosophies. Is one wrong and is one right?
Well, I feel like animal rights is a bloody hard one to think about, but in terms of that, the animals kill each other. We kill each other, so we should be able to kill animals, because I'm telling you, a few animals probably killed a few humans.
So you think the meat eaters right then?
I don't think either are wrong. I just wanted to stand by their values,
But you see where I'm coming from here, don't you?
Yeah.
Polar opposite. You can have a polar opposite philosophy without harming each other. Like I said, if that person who doesn't eat meat just picks berries, eats nuts,
Right.
does their own thing, mate. The hunter hunts animals, doesn't kill other people's animals. You know, whatever society they live in. Everyone's happy, but they still have completely different philosophies on how they treat their
I
dietary
feel like
needs.
that situation would cause an argument because both would feel in the right, but they're based on different things. If you get what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, arguing, mate. A lot of life's about arguing. I'm sick of it on YouTube. Just show me Piers Morgan. If you show me Piers Morgan, man, I don't wanna see Piers Morgan, mate.
Honestly, there you go. So that could be a negative then for philosophy. So you could use your negative argument, whether you're right or wrong, or whether neither one of you are, to push your beliefs on someone else.
Well, I was thinking this a few weeks ago that I should base my beliefs on facts.
Right, of course.
So like, so my mum is my mum, fact, yeah.
Right.
But I just know my mum's gonna get up to stuff.
Alright then, Ethan. How do you know your mum is your mum?
You know, raised me, but
So,
in both ways I could probably say.
How do you know that your mum gave birth to you?
Fucking the picture, fucking of me in her arms, like,
So that could be a different baby.
bloody hell. Too hard to think about that, but
were you
I would
there?
hold my beliefs that my mum is my mum off that.
Yeah, exactly.
That I've seen the picture of me with my mum and she looks like it were a hard time, you know. She looks like she'd been through
But what
a
if?
hard element.
How do you know that baby that they put in your mum's arms, then they took the baby away to give it a little clean, picked you up instead and gave you to your mum?
I just think it's
Like you said,
pointless
you
exercise.
can't guarantee a fact unless you can guarantee it, but you can't confirm that you remember coming out, little light come up and you open your eyes and went, yeah, that's who gave birth to me.
I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to mess with your head or anything.
What I meant by I know my mum is my mum from facts, yeah. So like I can believe that my mum will do something based on factual things I know about her. So I know my mum, based on my mum, she might be out shopping right now. What time is it actually? She's probably at my auntie's, isn't it? Right now.
You supposed it.
But I believe that my mum has,
Supposed mum.
I believe my mum's gone shopping.
Supposed
yeah.
mum.
I believe my mum's gone shopping.
She could have gone shopping.
Yeah, but I mean, like, based on facts, so, the buzz.
No, so
So, like, it's a fact that
you
what
made
I'm-
an educated guess that your mum would now be shopping due to the time she usually goes shopping and the
Yeah.
time it is now. Sorry, your supposed mum.
Fuck it off, man. So,
Well, that's
no,
all
I
I'm
mean, like,
saying.
I believe stuff off facts. Like, I know cars are fast, but I believe they can go slow.
Well, no, because cars can go slow. That's a fact.
Man, let's have a break, man. Let's have a break.
No.
Fucking, we're going on about...
Piers-
I'm not going on about philosophy. Alright, no. We're going
Yeah,
on
we
about
are.
cars and shit.
No, you brought up
My mum.
cars. No, you said that your philosophy is you're going to start doing the philosophy of following solid facts.
Yeah.
So I challenged that philosophy by saying, do you know your mum's definitely your mum? And you said, well, yeah, because she's raised me. And my counter to that is, well, no, Ethan, because you could have been swapped at birth.
Yeah, I understand.
But
that.
then again, no, Ethan, then again, I could take that to the extreme and say, well, how do you know you were actually born from a human? You could have been made in a test tube.
Yeah, well, I just believe in facts and stuff. Like, I understand what you mean. Like, I wouldn't be able to remember it. You can be skeptical of things that you don't know, or you weren't there for. That can happen a lot when you could be saying something to someone. You could be saying something to someone, and they have to believe you on like what you're saying. It. So I'd base like maybe an opinion on facts and what I believe. Like, I'd base them on that. Like, I know this person. I don't like them. Why? Because of these reasons. I believe they're a dickhead, mate.
Yeah, so if I said to you, you're alright, Ethan, and you went, yeah, I'm fine, and I knew what you looked like when you were normally fine, or you know, you were okay, you were in a happy mood, and you didn't have that face on, you looked miserable, I would go, no, you're not, Ethan. Are you okay?
It's very conversation about tacit, you know, where you can express yourself without directly saying what you mean. If you get what I mean, you know.
So, do you believe that people? What do you think about lying then?
The what?
What do you think about lying?
Lying.
Yeah, because the philosopher Immanuel Kant believed that lying was always wrong, even if it was to save someone's life.
Well, a lot of these philosophers were based on finding truth, absolute truth of life, meaning, activities.
No, that's what I'm asking you. Do you believe? What do you think about lying? So do you reckon, could you live your life without telling a lie? Not one thing you could say could be the degree to a lie.
I could not do that now.
Then again, though, if everything you believed were true, obviously. So obviously, if you were told something wrong and you repeated it, you're not lying. You've just been told something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you think you could live your full life by telling the truth? To the point of someone walks past you and goes,
seen that,
"You alright there, mate?" You go, "No, mate, I'm a bit sad at the moment. I'm just been thinking."
Seen Liar?
Yeah, Liar. So do you think Liar?
No, fucking hard to watch that film. You did not want to tell the truth at all.
No, but do you know what I mean though? Do you reckon someone could live their life like that?
I reckon some can, yeah, but I think there's just an extent to lies, like.
But people lie to children all the time.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I was gonna say that, like Santa, you know.
What if your boss comes over to you and goes, "Yeah, Ethan, are you having a good day?" And you turn around and go, "No, mate, I absolutely hate my job. I'm only here because I need the money. If I didn't need the money, I'd get out of this place and I'd never see you again. I could hit you if I wanted to."
No, thinking back, I would actually say that, like, say it in a jokeful tone.
Because there's some religions that you can't, you're not. I
You're not
imagine.
allowed to lie. Like,
Yeah, it's not
sin, isn't it?
encouraged. Yeah, it's a sin to lie. But obviously, people can learn to scoot around the truth. So, like I said, are you okay? And you're not okay. Instead of saying no, you could just go, "I've been better."
No, I guess I skirt around the truth sometimes. Like, if I'm late, Buzz were late. It might have been like 1 minute late, but I got fucking late, mate. You got any more facts? Facts about philosopher?
I mean, I've got a lot about just sort of what mainly different philosophers think. So, like we said before, mate, David Hume, he believed that you never truly know anything for certain because all your knowledge is based off what you perceive in your experiences.
Yeah, I mean, trees. A tree could definitely. If I go over to a tree and I knock on it, make sure it's wood and that, how can I not know that?
That's it, bro. You wouldn't know that. I could say to you now, Ethan, this is a fully wooden desk.
Right.
When in fact, the inside of this could be metal. It's just got a thin piece of wood on it. Thomas Hobbes believed that humans are naturally selfish and violent, and that we are the strong, and we need a strong government to keep us in check. So could you argue that's sort of taking away free will? We need someone to stand there and tell us, yes, get up in the morning, go to work.
Yeah. Oof, I don't know, like a nomad society, like where no one followed a political disposition. It'd be madness, man. It would be madness. Like, you want to do your bins every day by yourself, yeah? No, you want someone to come pick it up, innit?
Yeah.
I'm not saying pro-government 100%, but they do help, you know?
Yeah.
They organise getting us things from abroad that we need, and it's made up of people that, common people. Like, my mate used to work for the G4S, the gas people, carry around money and that. He used to work for them. I know he's a fucking sorted individual, that guy, yeah? But he works for the government. Am I just gonna, like, refute all these things I know just because he's part of that? If you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. But see, then that's the thing about philosophers, mate, because, you know, we were saying you can have complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Jean-Jacques Rousseau believed that humans are naturally good, but it's the government and society that corrupts us and makes us selfish.
In one instance of this, let's look at the differences between Christians and like, Muslims.
Okay.
So they in certain extremes allow capital punishment,
Yeah.
Killing them,
Yeah,
of Christians wouldn't really go for that, yeah. But it's mad because a lot of history has been made up of hanging people. Mortifying ways of killing people back then.
True.
Actually, and people would go there for pleasure, to look. So
yeah.
I feel like if people were truly religious, they wouldn't allow that to happen, man. I feel like some higher ups have manipulated it for their own intent, really.
Yeah, but even then, like you're saying, with religion, a lot of Catholics, Islam, Buddhism, Sikhism, all them, it's not just one group anymore. It's not just one, like, you couldn't just say, I'm a Catholic, or we go to somewhere else, these people are all Catholics, and Catholics, one belief, one meaning. Not everyone agrees on the same thing, because different people have different philosophies. So you have subsects, like the Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, some Jehovah's Witnesses says my shoes look nice.
Weird as hell, but do you know what I mean? I can only really think of the Catholic ones because the only real people we've been around are Catholics and stuff. But do you understand what I mean?
But look, like, mate, like we live in that society where Catholicism used to be the biggest thing, like in charge of everything.
Henry VIII changed
Protestant
into Protestant because he wanted different a wife. Yeah, his philosophy was different. So
he felt I shouldn't have to go to heaven because I've picked the wrong missus. You know, he should be allowed to go to heaven. I don't feel like that's as vile as maybe murder. What's it called that? Adultery.
Yeah, adultery.
But I'm just thinking contextually. I mean, it means a lot in terms of loyalty to a person, like a matrimony. Do you think marriage means anything nowadays? Because I feel like nowadays there is like conflict with the government because a lot of people aren't religious anymore. Well, so it's like a lot of the things the government do aren't really subverted through like religion. Like America had to do it where they had to separate church and state. Like they couldn't do things for like laws and shit just because of like the church.
Yeah, so when the Roman Catholic Church was very predominant in running most of the Roman Empire, they banned human dissection, which stopped medical advancement. And in terms of animal dissection, they would only let certain officiated doctors. So there was a doctor called Galen, and a lot of his work was published as facts, and what was backed by the church. But he got certain things wrong, like he said humans have two jawbones. When you can clearly feel your own jawbone, we have one.
Well, you do the humans. I guess that's true because a lot of people, a massive amount of history has been. The humours, the four humours.
Yeah,
so
blood,
people
bile,
believed in them,
phlegm and stuff like that.
Time. Time. People believed in them for time. It's what you're told, isn't it? It's what you're told.
Have you noticed that went backwards though from just the four humours to just bloodletting? I've got a sore tooth. Right, I'll just take a bit of blood.
You think that's where emos come from?
Emos?
From bloodletting.
No.
No, I met a few emails that say, "Oh, it feels nice when it comes out."
That's an emotional thing.
I'm gonna go away now.
Yeah, that's an emotional thing, my man. I won't lie.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like in a psychological sort of sense, maybe like it's routed from that. I don't know. But even that, that's like a bit of a conformity thing, like hurting yourself.
I guess. Well, yeah, conformity thing.
In terms of the humours as well, that's pure a conformity thing. You might not.
Yeah, but people are not self-harming because they think the four humans are in balance. People are self-harming. I'll agree with you for conformity to the point of maybe the groups they're in. That's seen as the way to do it.
Egging everyone on to do that. No,
so that's how they react. It'd be sort of but I'm not going. I don't see all these like kids who are unfortunately self-harming going. Yeah, these Greek philosophers. My four humours are in balance. I need to get some blood out.
That's crazy, people.
Right, so go on, Ethan. Then give me something. We'll call it a day in a second, and give me something. I want some of your last thoughts on philosophy. Give us, I don't know, your philosophy, the philosophy that you believe in. I want one philosophy now.
What, like a already established one?
It can be just something you're passionate about, whether it's something you've come up with yourself, something you've read, something you've integrated into your life.
I think this quest for knowledge and wisdom that's like pretty prevalent from all of these, like a quest to find out the truth.
Yeah.
To find the facts, but I also think it is sort of a material as well, because you know how a lot of philosophers says, "Oh, you own a house, but you don't really own anything as a person." Something like that. I'd feel like I'd value myself based on my accomplishments.
Yeah.
Or like abilities, or so like I've been reading the dictionary, innit?
Yeah,
so
I've seen
this quest for wisdom. So the way I've thought it, I can look through the dictionary and there are specific words that I don't know all of them, innit? I don't know every fucking word in the dictionary. I hope too soon though. But I don't know it. Like there are certain words I found that I didn't know were words, but perfectly describe a feeling or emotion or concept that I wasn't able to properly identify.
Yeah, of course.
So like this quest for knowledge, it would help me understand myself rather than understanding everything else as a whole. So at the end of the day, it's my reality, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying like I'm the master of reality, though, but I'm always in my eyes, innit? I'm the one in my body experiencing my life. From my eyes' perspective, this is what like I get to see, you know.
Yeah.
So it's about like what I can see. It'd be a shame if I went blind, but I think it's about what I can experience and what I can go through. And I think that's sort of beautiful in a way, because someone could experience life in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the philosophy of diversity, like through individualism, people are becoming more diverse. But just to like, it'd be in brackets this sentence, but it probably become towards like similar sort of things, like similar sort of people attract, like emos. How do they find each other? How do they find each other, man?
The internet, school.
Yeah, but it's like no,
Public.
I think like certain things would attract as well. So it's like not like, so I go through town, me, you know, walk through town, and I'll bump into like mates, you know, like I just see my mates, like odd that I would see them out of, you know, possibility.
Well, no, that's because you see friends who live in Bolton town centre isn't so much a mad possibility. If you saw one of your friends from France in Bolton town centre,
No,
that's a bit of
like,
a mad one.
I mean that possibility of chance, that entropy. So like if I continued being a good person or keep doing good things, maybe I would attract goodness to my life. You know what I mean? So if I was, a perfect example yesterday. So I was walking through town and there's this man on a flute. You know the flute man?
Yeah, opposite St Corner.
Man, it was so beautiful the other day. And I thought I'll give him some change today because it was really nice, that flute. So like that's just a meaningful thing for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a good for someone. I felt good about the thing he did. I feel good in myself.
So good things will happen to you.
Good things will happen.
Like karma.
I feel like karma is a sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like some people get what's coming to them sometimes.
Yeah, bad people.
So
bad
you know
things
when
happen.
you know when Jamie sometimes like pokes me, whatever.
And you poke him back.
Yeah, well back in there.
And you poke him.
I told him,
he pokes you back.
I told you, if you keep doing that, yeah, you're gonna spill your beer. And then the next time I went to do it, he spilt his beer by. He's done it about 5 times for trying to do it. I mean, that's sort of like a karma thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's got to be established. You know, like I don't know, like some women like being hit, innit?
What? I don't know where the
No, but I mean,
where did
like,
that come from, right?
Like, so the husband, would he feel bad about it if she liked it? I don't know. It's a weird one, though. I was coming at it from a different angle, but then I said it and it sounded mad.
Yeah. You should have thought about that before you said that.
No, I mean, like, alright, in terms of karma for this guy, so say he's doing a good thing in terms of her, innit?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, would he get negative karma or would she get negative karma?
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
Like, maybe, I'm trying to think of this now. Karma isn't, like, something I think about very daily. Do you think about karma?
Not really. I do sort of. I'll make a sly joke if I do something really nice for someone and go, well, that's my good deed of the week done.
Yeah.
But I don't actively think about it because I don't actively try and think about that stuff. I try and be a nice person in general.
Yeah.
And then if nice things happen to me, then that's brilliant. But then there's also days where I can be on the way to work, see a poor lad, go, oh, you go, mate, there's £10 for you, get yourself something to eat. Cross the road and get it by a bus.
Yeah.
Does that mean I deserved it because I gave him a tenner? I could have given him a tenner and he could have gone and bought heroin and hurt himself. So was that karma for me giving him a tenner? If you kind of go around thinking about these things, then as soon as something bad happens, you'll start thinking, what have I done wrong?
Yeah. So just to round it up, what would you say your ultimate like philosophies in like what you would use to operate your lifestyle?
If it's not it's not in my control and there's nothing I can do, it's not worth worrying about.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of I don't know if I've said it before. In terms of like people who do overseas charities and that, and they tell you about all these poor people in this poor country and they're starving and they're living under rocks and stuff, and it's like, well, I feel bad, and that shouldn't be real. And it doesn't make me happy to know that's happening. But
Mm.
what am I going? I'm not going to then go home and lose sleep about it.
Did you not see that show Fargo?
No.
Oh, well, the film was good, obviously, but then the show, the villain in it, he says, there was this guy, you know, he wanted to give to people. He's like a charitable guy, so, you know, give all his money to charity, yeah?
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, oh, I want to give more in it, so you give all his stuff away.
Mm.
And you want to give more, so you start giving people his organs. And then he realised, yo, if I die, I could give people my organs.
Right.
Oh, that's mad, that story, you know. He was trying to do a good thing, but it's bad. He did it in a bad way. Maybe with the wife beater, innit?
True.
Doing a bad, you know, fucking hell.
But then it's like people who donate their organs and then the families turn around and say, no, we don't want to donate them. Right, we're rounding this episode up, Ethan, before we start going on another tangent about something random.
Yeah. So from today, what have you learned? The only way to lose a pound is to have a pound. See you later, folks.